They say, a man's heart is armored, strong, untouchable. But his ego? Now that's fragile. And what if I told you there's a way to touch that ego, not to break him, but to make him crave you, to pull him closer, without lifting a finger? You see, Carl Jung believed that the psyche hides what we fear, but it also hides what we desire most. So when a man seems cold, distant, unreachable, it's not always rejection. Sometimes it's protection. He's guarding something that's burning just beneath the surface. And here's the wild part. If you understand how to disrupt that shield, how to challenge his identity just enough, you don't chase his love. You become his obsession. But how? In this video, we're breaking down the hidden psychology behind masculine desire, starting with the one thing that bruises his ego and ignites his fascination. By the end of this, I'll reveal a powerful shift, a subtle move you can make that flips the dynamic and draws him back to you, even when he's drifted far away. So don't blink. You'll want to hear this. Let's begin. You see, when a man's ego gets bruised, something unexpected happens. He starts to think deeply, not just about what went wrong, but about you. He replays conversations, re-examines your words, wonders if he missed something, or if you meant more than you said. Why? Because a bruised ego doesn't just hurt. It lingers. It whispers late at night. It makes him crave validation from the one who unknowingly shattered that image of himself. You're not just a woman to him anymore. You're a mirror. And in that reflection, he sees what he lacks and what he desires. He may not show it. He may act unaffected, but he's watching. Every post, every smile, every move you make, wondering, is she doing better without me? This is where something powerful kicks in. The more he believes you're thriving without him, the deeper the wound, because it confirms what his ego feared the most, that you were the one in control. Here's the twist. He doesn't hate you for it. He becomes drawn to it. Men don't obsess over what they understand. They obsess over what they can't figure out. And if you've quietly stepped into your power, embraced your silence, and let the absence speak louder than words, you've become unforgettable. Now, get ready. Because what we'll reveal in the next part is what makes a man cross that invisible line between pride and obsession. Ready to keep going? Let's dive deeper. There's something magnetic about a woman who walks away with grace. Not out of anger, not with drama, but with quiet strength. When a man sees you choose peace over attention, silence over explanation, it triggers something ancient inside him. His mind starts to fill in the blanks. Did she stop caring? Was she always this powerful? Did I ever really have her? Or was I just lucky to be there? And the more you remain still, the louder your absence becomes. It's not about playing games. It's about shifting energy. Because in your stillness, you've changed the dynamic. You've become the one who doesn't chase, who doesn't need to prove. And let me tell you something. That shift, it's unforgettable. It lingers in his mind, in his routine, in the spaces where your voice used to echo. This is why so many never move on completely. They move forward, but they never forget. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. Sometimes, just existing differently is enough. And hey, if this resonates with you, even a little, there's more where that came from. Stick with us. You might be surprised what unfolds next. We're just getting warmed up. There's a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when a man realizes he can't reach you the way he used to. He might still text, he might still joke. But there's a shift. You're not trying to impress him anymore. You're not reacting, not chasing, not giving him the emotional validation he once relied on. And suddenly, you become unpredictable. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you're finally giving yourself what you once gave him: attention, care, energy. He starts to notice your glow. Not the makeup kind, but the kind that comes from choosing yourself, from protecting your peace, from walking into a room without wondering if you're enough, because you already know you are. That energy, it's irresistible. Not because it tries to seduce, but because it doesn't try at all. It simply exists and demands nothing in return. This is the point where obsession begins. Not because you forced it, but because you didn't. So if you've ever been made to feel like too much or not enough, just know your real power begins when you stop shrinking for anyone. And if you're still here with me, there's something rare in you. You're not just listening, you're evolving. Let's keep that fire going. Ready? Let's go deeper. There's something men rarely talk about, but it runs deep. It's the sting of being emotionally outpaced. When you evolve faster than he expects, when your healing, your growth, your standards rise, it disrupts his control, not in an aggressive way, but in a silent, rattling way that makes him question his own worth. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing him is the moment he starts needing you, because suddenly he's not the center of your emotional universe. You've stopped orbiting him. Instead, you're standing in your own light. And he feels it. He sees the way others see you. He notices how peace follows you now, how you've stopped engaging in chaos, how your silence speaks more than your words ever did. And he starts to wonder, did I lose her? Or did she find herself? He won't say it out loud. His pride won't let him. But internally, he's spinning. And the more composed you are, the more detached from the drama, the more he obsesses over how to pull you back in. But here's the twist. You're not coming back. Not to the version of him that required you to shrink. Not to the dynamic that drained you. You've tasted self-worth now. And that taste, it changes everything. He might laugh with his friends, post pictures, act unbothered. But there's a moment, late at night, when he scrolls through your messages. Not to reread what you said, but to remember how you made him feel. And that is what men miss most. Not your body, not the attention, but the way you saw them before they saw themselves. You believed in the part of him he hadn't even grown into yet. And now, without your reflection, he feels undefined. He might chase distractions, maybe even someone new. But every laugh feels a little hollow, because nothing compares to the connection where he didn't have to perform, where he didn't have to be impressive to be seen. You saw him in his mess, his confusion, his vulnerability, and you stayed until you didn't. And now he realizes what real intimacy costs. Not just physical presence, but emotional courage, to be seen fully and not run. And you, in your silence, in your peace, are the loudest reminder of what he lost, of what he never truly said, but always felt. He sees your name, and something inside him pauses. He won't text, he won't call. But that pause, that's the echo of everything he never had the courage to say. He might tell himself you were too much, too intense, too emotional. But deep down, he knows. You were the mirror he wasn't ready to face. You reflected his fears, his dreams, his wounds, and instead of healing with you, he ran from you. Not because you hurt him, but because you awakened something in him he couldn't control. That scares a man more than any heartbreak. The fear of being fully known. The fear of not being enough, even in the eyes of someone who truly saw him. He thought pushing you away would give him back his control. But now, he's realizing control without connection is just loneliness with a mask. And he wears that mask every single day, around his friends, at work, even in bed with someone else. But behind his eyes, you're still there, a presence he can't explain. a silence that speaks louder than any goodbye. And now, as promised, here's the truth no one tells you. When a man's ego is bruised by someone who touched his soul, it doesn't just hurt, it reshapes him. You didn't just hurt his pride, you cracked the armor he built to survive, and through that crack, something rare happens. He starts feeling, not performing, not pretending, feeling. You woke up the part of him he buried long ago, and he'll try to replace that feeling with noise, new people, distractions, ego boosts, but nothing will fill the space where your energy once lived. So now, it's your turn. What do you believe leaves the deepest impact on a man's heart? His ego or his emotions? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. And if you're ready to explore more about emotional psychology, relationships, and how inner strength shapes outer attraction, click the playlist on screen now. It's not just content, it's clarity. And clarity changes everything.